Our last mission saw us go on a cultural exchange of sorts at the Klingon monastery of Boreth to experience a trip into the hell of Grethor with Martok and Gowron. While in Koth, a limbo-like fog, we encountered Gowron, who in turn guided us to the barge of the dead. This is either a shared hallucination, or our souls are literally visiting Grethor, but either way we are here to find the spirit of L'rell in order to guide her back to her body in the waking world. We have just arrived at the gates of Grethor, and Gowron was kept behind by the ferryman, while we disembarked onto the stone pier at the edge of the Sea of Blood.
Look at these pathetic wretches, reporting for damnation like it were duty.
The Klingon souls that accompanied us here are lined up before a towering fek'ihri demon who studies their new acquisitions. They will be here for all eternity, or at least until the halls of Sto-vo-kor are ready to siege Grethor with their dead fleet, as some Klingon myths tell. The imposing walls of stone show nowhere else to go but towards the gates, flanked by demons and hellish Targ?
There are the gates. Let us see if entering Grethor is as easy as Kortar said.
Kortar implied that we could literally stroll inside and just walk on by everything, because Grethor is not designed to keep people out, it's to keep people in. Beyond the gates is an entry hall with the Klingon sigil upturned over a pit of fire. The floor here too is also burning, and it's like being trapped in an oven, yet we do not perish. Interestingly, as we take in our surroundings, we can see many Klingons here, idling away the time in chatter. Few are actively being punished or tortured by the fek'ihri. Not what I expected. Additionally, we have Klingons here from the Kelvin universe, or at least ones donning the armour of that alternate reality. This suggests that either that armour was present in STO Continuity 2 at some point, or that only one Grethor exists, ready to take the souls of any dishonoured Klingons, no matter in which realm they dwell. There are even Klingons in their attire from the mid-23rd century, including those altered by the augment human DNA. Among them are prowling demons looking for ways to entertain themselves. Among all this, amongst all the dishonoured Klingons that have ever lived from a multiple of realities, is the one we are looking for.
This is going to be like searching for a cloaked ship in the briar patch.
We do not seek a mundane soul, General. Few Klingons do not know of L'rell. I do not think a warrior of her caliber would go unnoticed, especially in a place like this. Come, let us speak to others here. It should not take long to find L'rell.
Right, yes, you said that she likely shouldn't be here, so she's like to have drawn some attention. Also, apparently, amongst the myriad of eyes upon the newcomers, something stands out to us as we notice one Klingon gazing at us in particular. You there, why are you staring? Oh, right, the uniform. Yeah, and the fact I'm human.
Ah, more newcomers. This place, oh, it stinks. It's loud and teeming with demons. That said, oh, at least it's warm, unlike Rura Penthe, where I froze to death in a cell. I suppose that is better than filling the belly of a jackal mastiff.
We are looking for L'rell. Have you seen her?
Huh, can't say I have. Sorry. Well, don't make that face at me. See that man atop the stairs? The one surrounded by she-demons? He's called Kutip. Seems to be a player in here. You might ask him about L'rell.
So, that's better than nothing. Might as well speak to this Kutip. It's about now that I realise we look like the beginning of a bad joke. Two Klingons, a human, a Vulcan, a Saurian, a Bajoran, and a potato, walk into Grethor. This Kotep we wish to speak to is atop a flight of stairs to the next chamber, and is indeed surrounded by the female demons, and he appears to be pleading or bargaining.
It's easy. You she-demons want souls to devour. I can help with that. No, not my soul, you insufferable harpy! Behold, newcomers have arrived, my ladies. Come forth, travelers! Let us get to know one another.
Right.
Listen closely, Fatak. We seek L'rell. Have you seen her? Speak now, before I feed you to your charming friends.
I guess Kotep's trying to delay his suffering by offering up others.
You wouldn't. No, wait. You would. I can see it in your eyes. I have not seen this L'rell. Vought, you need to talk to Vought. If there's anyone who knows about this, it's her! Please don't feed me to the she-demons!
We'll go harass this fort then. I wish you luck in dealing with your friends here, but I have a feeling things only end badly here.
Vought must be further in. Let us head through these doors and look for them.
So it seems that the souls here are eventually consumed by the fek'ihri, who use that as a threat and as a way to toy with their captives. Kotep here is luring and supplying others to these devils in order to prolong his own hide, but it's pointless, as in the long run, he's already condemned. The second chamber is larger than the entry and is called the Hall of Treachery. It has several branching corridors. These lead to other halls of torment, none of which interest us today. Our Vought character is not very far into this chamber. We're able to locate her very quickly.
Kotep sent you? Impressive. I sent my she-demons down to eat him. The silver-tongued bastard must have talked his way out of their bellies. Never mind that. Why are you bothering me, exactly?
You sent your demons? Interesting dynamic down here. But we're looking for L'rell. Seen her?
Someone who looks a lot like L'rell has been seen around. Quiet type. Keeps to herself. That's not an easy thing to do around here. Someone like her could pull it off, I suppose.
Indeed. Where can we find her?
Ask Lothar. I run my little corner of things, and that's all. She's elsewhere, and for that, you need to talk to Lothar. Unless you want to take it up with Veklar, of course. Ha!
Let's try to avoid talking to the Klingon equivalent of the devil, shall we? It's interesting that she holds some sway over the demons, or at least she thinks she does. Ultimately, the fek'ihri rule this realm and see the Klingons here as their playthings, but there may be a genuine way to exploit their instincts for personal gain. Of course, such scheming behaviour is unbecoming of a Klingon warrior, and I guess it serves to keep the Dishonoured trapped here without redemption. We eventually locate Lothar, a Klingon of the 23rd century.
Ah, the newcomers with so many questions have made their way to me at last. Allow me to welcome you to the Hall of Treachery. A tragic name, really. We aren't all bad here.
Really? Well, that's a relief to hear. For a minute, I thought we were in trouble.
Newcomers are quite popular, you know. You've been watched since you set foot past the gates. Can you blame us? We enjoy such amusements whenever we can in Grethor. But enough of that. You have questions, yes? Ask away.
Yes, I imagine we're being watched. It's not every day someone voluntarily walks into Grethor.
If you've been watching us, you know why we're here. L'rell. Does she dwell within your domain or not?
Calm yourself, General. Yes, I know who you are. The great and terrible Martok, Butcher of Zenkath 3, the one I doom, and so forth. Your reputation precedes you. All of you.
I'm sorry, the one-eyed what?
Enough. You still haven't answered his question, Lothar. Tell us where we can find L'rell, and you'll never see us again.
Well, this is embarrassing. But I'm afraid I lost L'rell in a game of poker. Do you know it? Human game. Quite popular in here. Yes, I lost L'rell to Mordok. If you're interested in her, you'll have to deal with him. I hope you're good at cards.
You gambled away the soul of L'rell. Of course you gamble with lives down here, but I'm more curious as to how it came to be in your possession to begin with. Turning the corner, we see we are being followed, and not too discreetly either, by the son of Nun, Boreth, who has found his brethren down here. as we approach to try to reintroduce ourselves, they back away. So this is strange too, because Batleth betrayed his house leader, attacking Ja'ula, as did Mek'Leth, but Ingame died under Ja'ula's command in the Klingon High Council chambers before Akad's treachery. I take this as evidence that Ja'ula's actions up until now were still less than honourable, so she too was probably on the path to Grethor until she was betrayed. Nevertheless, we're here for a mission, and the Sons of None are gonna make their move eventually anyway. We locate the Klingon Lothar pointed us towards Martok.
What? L'rell? I don't know her. There must be some sort of mistake.
Okay, you're either very, very good at bluffing, or you're genuinely confused and scared right now and easy to read. You're not a poker player, are you?
Gambler? No. This is Lothar's word. I'm sorry. You've been played. We've all been played. And now we're gonna suffer for it. Sorry.
Sorry. It's an ambush.
I told you on the barge that vengeance would be mine. What I meant was, vengeance would be ours.
Reunited in Grethor, the nameless Klingons attack.
Your luck finally run out, Martok.
Try to die well, Ja'ula.
I was wondering when they'd make their move. Now I know.
I count 5 of them. Have they added another to their ranks?
I think the 5th arrival is on our side.
The 5th skirmisher they alluded to is a robed warrior wielding 2 ancient-styled Mek'Leth and is indeed fighting against the Sons of None.
Killing you here is almost poetic, traitor! 2 down, 2 to go.
They fall in short order.
I hear you have been looking for L'rell, and now you have found her. We need to talk.
So L'rell has found us. Well, that's easier to do, I suppose, for the residents to spy the newcomers, rather than us to locate a single soul amid the infinitude. Clearly, she seems willing to help us, siding with us against our ambushers, so we must have her interest.
Ja'ula, sister of T'Kuvma. I know your story well. How you rose to power in House Mokai, your conflict with your brother, and your bold crusade against the Federation during the war. Even after my death, I heard tales of your exploits. You have made and ended a great many enemies. Many of them now dwell within these halls. I know why these souls are here. What I do not know is why you are here. It is not your time.
So, tales from the Dishonored Dead include Ja'ula's exploits.
If you have heard of my exploits, you know of my clash with the tyrant Jempak. Once he held the office you brought honor to, but it was not enough to sate his lust for power. Now, he calls himself Emperor, and has shattered the great work of my brother.
If only we could find a Klingon who has experience in putting the Empire back together.
The Empire you led with honor is now divided, on the verge of collapse. I am here because I want to restore you to the realm of the living, to help me save it.
Your brother often spoke of your boldness. I suspect he might have understated it somewhat. What you seek is not impossible, but I question the need for such a thing.
To be fair, yeah, I'm kind of curious about that myself.
Why seek to restore me from the dead when another former Chancellor still breathes? Of what use am I when General Martok, a warrior fit to wield the sword of Kalish, stands at your side?
It appears you've heard of my exploits as well, Chancellor. I am honored.
As you should be, General. You have served the Empire with honor. And yet, you are reluctant to reclaim the office you once held. Why else would you be here now? I do not blame you. I know too well of the great burden that office brings. and the terrible sacrifices it often demands.
Publicly, at least, L'rell had to pretend to sacrifice her only child in order to deny her opponent's leverage in dethroning her. In secret, she took the child to Boreth, Tenavik, and although living a full, if complicated life, she was then denied a family. I'm imagining that is the burden of which she speaks.
Word travels fast here. Your enemies will be on the move. If you do not return to the realm of the living soon, they will strike. Even the greatest warriors can die here. You should leave, while you are still able to do so.
Join us. Together, we can liberate you from this place and restore you to life, as Kalis once was.
No, I cannot leave this place. It is a matter of honor. Once, I dwelled in Sto-vo-kor among the honored dead. But Vok, my greatest love, was denied entry. He was denied an honorable death, and thus his soul was sent to Grethor. I could not bear that, and so I came here and bargained with Fek'lhr for his release. In exchange for Vok's freedom, I offered to take his place. As you can see, my offer was accepted.
So, Vok ended up in Grethor, which means for a Klingon he was dishonourable in life, and it's no wonder. The man ended up working undercover as a Mokai sleeper agent in the form of Ash Tyler, who went on to lead Section 31 for a time, even after his identity was revealed. We still don't know what else he got up to in life, but it would have been under Federation purview and in their interests. What's more, it would be for an organisation that many find dishonourable, by any species' measure of the word.
This is why I cannot leave. To do so would dishonour the agreement, and condemn us both to eternal suffering in Grethor. You have travelled here in vain, Ja'ula. I cannot help you.
No, I saw it. The crystal showed me the future, and you are a part of it. If you could strike a bargain with the Master of Grethor, so can I. I will find Fek'lhr and secure your freedom, or die trying.
I have seen such determination before, in the eyes of your honored brother. So be it. I will take you to Fek'lhr. There we shall see how strong your resolve truly is.
Okay, that escalated, I think. We're going to talk to Fek'lhr now, like the big bad down here. Oh boy.
The stairs beyond those doors lead to Fek'lahr's hall.
We follow L'rell to the door she mentioned, and beyond is an imposing staircase, bracketed by flame, leading to the throne room itself. We begin our ascent to meet with Veklar, the ruler of Grethor, he who sided with Molar against Kalis in ancient times, and it is his horde of fek'ihri that walk these halls, and perhaps he is the commander of the fek'ihri fleet that attacks in the real space outside of this nightmare.
The guards do not seem to be opposed to our passage.
They aren't here to keep us away from Fek'lhr. They're here to keep us from escaping him.
Oh, lovely. We reach the top of the stairs and the closed door. Oh, procrastination's over.
You come here with hope in your heart. Abandon it. There is no place for hope here. Here. There is only pain.
The throne room sees demons everywhere, even scrapping among themselves.
Lady Ja'ula of House Mokai, I must offer my gratitude to you. Many fresh souls have arrived here of late, thanks to you and your Imperial nemesis. Because of this, I will hear what you have come so far to say. Come forth, speak. What would you ask of the Lord of Grethor?
Lord Fek'lhr, I come before you to bargain for the soul of L'rell. I would liberate her from these halls.
It's not going to be cheap, is it?
Such impudence! You think you are worthy of commerce with me? My good lady, I am inclined to disagree. Violently.
Violently? What do you mean violent? Oh. Oh.
The ferryman killed many a god by himself. Together, we should be able to finish off Fek'lhr.
Watch out! He's calling in tormented souls to fight us as well!
Veklar teleports off of his throne in a black mist to assault us, while his amassed retinue of demons jumps into action too. He brandishes his axe and summons twisted souls to his side as well.
I can see now why my halls are filled with your slain foes.
Fek'lhr revels in the battle, while his spirits flit about and demons spit acid while they claw at the away team.
Your souls are not strong enough to withstand the power of Fek'lhr, Lord of Grethor.
Fek'lhr can call upon the burning flames as well to set areas alight, and his swings can send us flying.
I am the fear of death that hides deep within each of your hearts.
Soon we are all wreathed in flame, pressing on against the endless hordes and the King of Grethor himself, when at last he simply returns to his throne and sits.
You have provided me with great sport. I shall hear your bargain. What do you offer in trade for the soul of L'rell?
Lord Veklar, I wish to offer myself—
Wait! Hold your tongue, Jahula. Fek'lhr! If it's the soul of a Chancellor you want, take mine instead.
Intriguing. I accept, son of L'rell. You shall take L'rell's place here.
Are you mad, Gowron?
Better to spend eternity with Klingons than to be alone in the void, even in a place like this.
Lord Veklar, this should not be Gowron's fate. I will deliver the soul that belongs here. His treacherous ancestor, Akar.
Unacceptable! Grethor is filled with souls such as Akar's. You will have to sweeten the deal.
Very well. I shall deliver the souls of Akar and Jempak.
That is more like it. I accept your generous offer. Deliver those souls to me, and Gowron shall be freed as well. And now, I give you leave to go. Be gone.
So, Gowron just offered himself as a trade for L'rell, a Chancellor for a Chancellor, and now in return for Gowron we must deliver Akar and Jempak? That sounds like a deal, for surely Akar would be bound here anyway, but it was interesting to see Fek'lhr so delighted at the prospect of attaining Jempak. Perhaps there is more to this than simply 2 for 1. Maybe Jempak's fate was still undetermined or something. Either way, if it bails Gowron out, I'm for it. However, as we move to leave, we get a stark reminder of just who we made a deal with.
You are able to leave if you can, but you won't be able to leave free. Whoever brings L'rell back to me will be allowed to take her place in Starfleet.
I've dealt with Ferengi that were less treacherous than...
Be ready. Every soul in Grethor stands between us and the gates.
Let them come. If they want to die again, I'm happy to oblige them.
Be mindful of their numbers and their treachery.
So after realising that the rest of the group is pinned down, I return to aid them. The flight from Grethor is an overwhelming one, which takes several attempts. Honestly, I found the best method was to gradually battle your way out, ensuring no demons can flank you and drag you back into a pincered firefight. Demons surge all over, and not only the fek'ihri, but the damned souls of the Klingons themselves, spurred on by the promise of being allowed to leave Grethor if they manage to kill us. Fortunately, these souls are pained, tormented, and not much of a threat, although there is a great many of them, and some refuse to fight us at all. While a frantic dash to the exit with the assembled hordes of hell chasing us from its gates would be more climactic and cinematic, in my experience it's almost certainly a fatal mistake to attempt to just push through them all. The advance to escape is hectic, and a series of forays forwards before retreating into a more defensible position as we slowly make ground.
Quickly! Open the front gates! Grethor is waiting for us on the barge.
That's not the only thing waiting for us on the other side. Get ready to fight!
Eventually the halls fall silent and the demons are vanquished for now, while the Klingon souls are nursing their wounds and retreating, allowing for us to escape. But the pier lies before us now, with its guards.
There's the barge! Hurry!
Of course, they have fire-breathing tarns.
Grethor, prepare to weigh anchor. We are leaving in a hurry.
The battle of the docks is just as frantic, but at least now we can retreat into the safer ground behind us, should we need to. Eventually, even the defenders fail to stop our escape, and we're able to leave Grethor. We were warned when we entered that getting out would be the most difficult task, and Grethor was not wrong. As we set foot on the barge, however, everything turns white and we black out, only to awaken around the fire in the monastery of Boreth. That was definitely an experience, and certainly strange that we all appear to have shared in the same visions. After seeing to the health of our crew, Adetpar approaches.
Welcome back to the world of the living, and not a moment too soon. A few minutes ago, sensors detected energy signatures over Boreth. Fek'ihri portals. They're sending vessels through as we speak.
The Dominion-made fek'ihri arrive in orbit just as we're fleeing Grethor with the soul of L'rell.
Has her soul been liberated? Was your mission a success?
I think so? Did she not wake up? What happened?
She was right beside us, fighting the whole way. Did she make it to the barge?
Yeah, though I passed out.
She did. I made sure of it. Check her vitals. Give me a medical update now!
One problem at a time. This L'rell clone is still dormant, but as we tend to her...
It is done. She is restored, reborn. Welcome home, Mother.
Her life signs are strong. Reading brain activity. Yes! You did it! L'rell has returned safe and sound. Kapla!
There is an awful lot of coincidence here. Too much to deny what we just experienced. Which reminds me, the fek'ihri. Report?
Right. 3 portals in total. Fek'ihri vessels are emerging from them as we speak. They're holding position for now, but we are heavily outnumbered.
Right. 3 portals spawning vessels in orbit. Any idea what their goal is?
L'rell's presence may be a coincidence. Since their return to our space, the fek'ihri have made numerous assaults on Boreth. Until now, those attacks were repelled by the KDF.
Okay, so they might not be chasing us all the way from Grethor. What about now?
And now, with the Empire in a state of disarray, the defense presence here is minimal. The fek'ihri saw a weakness, and they seized the initiative. This time, they may succeed where they have failed so many times before.
See, Martok is speaking logically. It might genuinely be all a coincidence. Either way, we need to defend Boreth.
Indeed. If the fek'ihri want to fight, they came to the right place. I will fight to the end if I must, for today is a good day to die.
Well said, Martok. I stand ready for battle as well. It will be an honor to defend this sacred place at your side.
You risked all to restore me to life. Honor demands that I fight alongside you, and I do so gladly.
So be it. We will make our stand here. Let it be known that we never forgot what it means to be Klingon! I will need to go with one of you, however. After the loss of the Lucara, I have no vessel to command in battle.
I believe I can be of assistance there, Lady Ja'ula. The monks of Boreth are not entirely without resources after all.
If there's one thing I'm going to take away from all of this, it's that, yes, the monks of Boreth are more than they seem.
Yes, but we will need some time to prepare. Do what you can to hold the line until then. Lady Ja'ula, Mother, please come with me.
So, two interpretations. Either we just visited Grethor, bargained with Fek'lhr for L'rell's soul, and were chased from its gates into the living world by the fek'ihri, but we successfully awoke L'rell, or we just had a shared hallucination guided by what we expected to find, and awoke just in time for the cloned L'rell to stabilise and a fek'ihri assault against Boreth to resume, a type of attack that has happened before. We return to the Shaman, accompanied by the Core and the Rotaran, the only ships in defence of Boreth, at the moment, at least, to face the three spatial disruptions around which fek'ihri vessels swarm like piranhas.
Fek'ihri portal count remains at 3. Reading multiple enemy vessels in the system, we're outnumbered at least 3 to 1.
Acknowledged. Recommendations, guys?
Our first priority should be closing those portals. Until they're gone, our fek'ihri problem could continue to grow.
Understood. More ships will keep coming through those portals unless we can shut them. So those are the priority targets.
I'm reading heavy fluctuations in their graviton fields. At the moment, they appear to be unstable, but they could stabilize over time. Until then, it is a weakness we can exploit.
Yeah, exploit them how? How do we shut them?
Weapons fire, especially torpedoes, will eventually destabilize a portal's integrity to the point of collapse. Firing a heavy barrage at each portal should do the trick nicely.
Ah, shoot them. I can do that.
We need to punch through the ships guarding the portals before reinforcements arrive.
It won't take much to collapse the portals. Take them out as soon as you can.
Well, I've been looking forwards to trying out the forward firepower of this ship, so we let loose an opening salvo against the fek'ihri vessels with the drive to punch through to the portal and shut it down.
The portal is destabilizing. It's collapsed!
There's more to be done. Close the others quickly.
Skirting around the second wave of ships, we make for the second portal and unload a barrage on it, making quick work of number 2.
Ah! Back to Grethor with you, demon!
Don't open the blood wine yet. More fek'ihri vessels are coming in from the last portal.
So, the USS Shaman is a bit of a glass cannon. It is less durable than the Armiger, but its firepower is far heavier and it immolates anything before it. It is also more manoeuvrable, and I miss my tanky cruiser.
That's the last portal. Kapla!
Let's deal with the fek'ihri stragglers.
Wait. Another portal is opening. Much larger than the others.
So they're not finished with us yet, eh? Make ready for battle! Ja'ula, if you're going to do something, now's the time! The fek'ihri dreadnought is an impressive beast. I will enjoy killing it.
The fek'ihri Farang dreadnought has pulled into the system from the new gate, while there are still the leftover ships from the portals we just closed. The large vessel is more than a match for at least 2 of us, let alone all its allies.
I don't think reinforcements are coming. It may be time to consider...
Do not finish that sentence. We are Klingons. We will fight to the end.
Yes! Boreth shall not fall today.
Fight now! For Kalis! For Boreth! For the Empire!
This is the IKS Katinga, calling all Klingon forces. I am L'rell of House T'Kuvma. Join me! Fight now! For the Empire! Fek'lhr!
But L'rell isn't the only one late to the fight.
I'm picking up a ship entering the system at high warp.
My differences you can bring to me. I will not let Boreth fall.
3 new Klingon vessels enter the system of a house not affiliated with Mokai. I'm not complaining.
Reading another ship entering the system. It's one of ours.
Death to the fek'ihri! Send them screaming back to Grethor!
Another inbound KDF vessel. We can win this!
Target the nearest fek'ihri vessel and destroy it! Fek'lhr!
With the surge of allied ships, the pressure is taken off us and we can make for the Dreadnought's entry portal. After sustained firepower, it collapses. It seems that the Klingons simply needed a cause to rally around and someone to issue that call. Boreth is the heart of Klingon faith and it will not fall today. Still, many Klingon ships do fall to the demonic enemy, but soon only the Dreadnought remains.
Victory is ours! Together, we have protected Boreth from our enemies, and returned she who was called Mother to the Empire!
Well, kapla, I guess. But seriously, I need to contemplate what we've just been through.
Truly a glorious battle, my lady. The fek'ihri will think twice before launching an attack here anytime soon.
I hope so.
Even so, things got too close for my liking. For a time, it seemed like there were more fek'ihri in space than stars. Thankfully, the monks had that well-preserved surprise up their sleeves. Just where did you find that relic, Tenavik?
We have kept it here since my mother's time. Once it served as her flagship. We preserved it as a reminder of a Klingon golden age. We knew one day it would be needed again, and it seems that time has come at last.
The Katinga is the namesake of the class, also known as the D7 battlecruiser, and it was created with the formation of the KDF to be the first official battleship of the new fleet. It also featured as L'rell's flagship in her time, and its fate was unknown. Looks like it ended up here in the monks' care. Not sure if I buy that Tenavik foresaw its use in the far future, but then again, time crystals. But the vessel must have been well maintained and even upgraded over the generations.
Indeed. Though I yearn to command the Katinga once more, it has been far too long since I have done so. Space warfare has changed considerably since my time.
Same.
Until I have reacclimated myself to this era, I can think of no better warrior to command this vessel than Lady Ja'ula of House Mokai. May you lead this vessel and her crew to glory.
You honor me, L'rell. Computer, note the transfer of command in the record of battle. For many, the Lucara was a symbol of division. May the Katinga serve as a symbol of unity, as my brother's vessel once did.
Let the honored few who came to Boreth's aid go now to every corner of the Empire. Tell everyone you meet what happened here today. Tell them that you were at Boreth when L'rell returned. Tell them how we all fought and sent the fek'ihri back to Grethor. There is much to be done. We have an empire to restore and a tyrant to depose. But now is not the time for such things. Now is the time to honor our great victories. Tonight, we celebrate, for tomorrow we may die. Kapla!
So, I suppose my plan of arresting Jula is out of the picture then. But a surprising level of self-awareness from her there. Jula has come to terms with the fact that she's not to be the leader of the Empire. She is not the one to guide the Klingons back to their path, as her original goal was. The Klingons of this time are a different breed of warrior and would not follow her, a relic of the past who openly attacked their alliance with the Federation. She understood the divisiveness she brought to the Empire only too well when she played a part in its shattering. Then her vision showed her a matriarch on the throne, but she was not self-centered enough to assume it was to be her. Jula is still a contentious figure, but at least she's doing something about it. Unlike, say, Jimpok, who seems to be slipping ever further into megalomania.
Now that L'rell has been restored, she will be able to counsel Lady Jula on a great many things. Though I have great respect for Jula, there are always lessons to be learned as a leader in the Klingon Empire. And, in such matters, there is no better teacher than L'rell. Yes, with L'rell at her side, I believe Lady Jula can lead our house to victory over Jimpok and restore our shattered empire to glory. That battle lies ahead of us, however. When the time comes, be ready to answer the call to arms.
Thank you for watching this episode of the Star Trek Online story series as we explore its continuing narrative and move into the final chapters of the Klingon Civil War. I've been Rick. Thanks again, and I'll see you next time. Goodbye.